Hey everybody. Sorry I didn't make it in yesterday. I was taking a nap because I was tired. I try to give myself permission to take breaks in the middle of all this, but I'm happy to be back today. I'm going to go ahead and walk through what's increasingly just more my yoga practice. There's a little bit of sun salute involved, a little bit of self-massage. I'm going to walk you through using a belt or tennis ball or foam roller if you have those available. Again, you can have a couple of blankets and a towel that you can roll up. That's going to make it easier for you to work on yourself as we go. But I'm just going to kind of work on myself and then guide you along through that. Go ahead and stand up at the front of your mat. And feet with distance or hips width distance between the feet. Just want to roll the shoulder blades back and down, stand tall. Just breathe and get centered. I want to feel good contact with the floor, long, tall spine. And big in breath. And exhale. Fold forward. Walk it out. Feel stiff through my hips and legs. This is mainly where I feel this. When I allow my head to hang, I get a little bit of that junction between the cervical and thoracic spine. Just walking that out. Gonna slowly come back to standing. Always just honoring your own mobility where you're at. We're not trying to force, we're just trying to explore. Big in-breath, arms up. And swan dive forward. Walk it out. Left to right. Side to side. Very tight through there. Step the right foot back. Runner's lunge. See if you can find your balance. Right leg is lengthened, left foot is down and solid. And left foot back. Plank, lower yourself down, lift yourself up. And down dog. Walk it out. Left to right, side to side. You can move the feet closer or further away from the hands. And right foot forward. Find your balance. You can bring your hands into prayer position if you want. And step forward, forward fold. Bending the knees, protecting the low back, allowing your belly, your abdomen, your chest to rest on the thighs. Big in breath. Swan dive forward. Walk it out. Left to right. Side to side. A little bit more open this time. You can straighten the legs as much as you want to allow the head and neck to hang. Long spine. Lengthening between the vertebrae. Step the right foot back. swan dive forward, left foot back, plank, lower yourself down, lift up, and down dog again. Back and forth, side to side. Good grip of the hands and feet, but no strain in those 4 points of contact. Walk it out, left to right, side to side. Feel like you can move the shoulder blades around. Where do you feel most supported? What has the most structural integrity? And right foot forward, good solid runner's lunge. You can bring your hands to prayer position if you want. And turn both feet, gonna pigeon toe a little bit. Just about, foot position is just about at the wrist or hands. Gonna forward fold here. Walk it out, left to right, side to side. Bend the knees, drop yourself down, stretch into the hips. Deep press into the hips, knees wide. And slowly straighten the legs, roll back into the hamstrings. Allow the head and neck to hang, move it around. Then, hands over, step the foot back, down dog. And slowly come down and forward. I hope that you've got a belt with you. I really like this guy because it's got a little loop here. If you have a belt at home, it might have a buckle. I'm going to wrap this guy around and see if I can lace it. So it gives me a little bit of grip. That way I can put my arm in like it's a sling. And I've got it up and over this right shoulder. I'm going to pull this arm through so that when I press down, this strap is going to pull right into this area. There we go. All this movement, pulling through there, doesn't feel quite too bad today on that side. I can always reposition this a little closer to the neck, a little further away on the shoulder. Where do you feel like you get the best pressure there? This right arm is pushing down and away, creating some tension. Some pressure right at that cervico-thoracic junction. Now what happens if we move the left arm with it? I get a little crack in my shoulder, a little cavitation from mobilizing that way. I like stretching back here and then lengthening the head and neck up and over. Gonna rock with it. And slowly take it off. Reverse sides. This time this guy's going to come through. Going to hook it over my right shoulder. Loop the left arm through so I can press with the forearm down and over to pull right into the top of the shoulder blade, levator scapula, that junction. You're hitting trapezius there. You're hitting levator scapula. You can always tighten or loosen your belt depending on what your needs are. I think that's good enough for me. I'm going to work this arm around and lengthen. Breathe through your nose. Deep breaths. little tighter in me on this side. I'm going to reach up and over. Feels good if my palm is out and open, and I lift that right side up and over. Forward or back. Rocking through the spine. Where's your stretch? Big, long lines all the way out my fingertips. Slowly bring it back to center. Still move that guy around, see if it accessed some of that. It did. Ooh. Tense, tense, tense. I'm going to take this guy off. I'm going to unlace or unloop it. I'm going to grab with my hands and arms so I can work on the shoulders. I like to wrap around like this. I feel like it gives me a slightly better grip. And there's some pull. My shoulder is a little bit wider than hips width distance apart, so I can reach out. I can have my legs out, I can have my legs in. The focus is more on the shoulders. I'm pushing the shoulder blades apart. I'm mobilizing through my upper thoracic and then on my cervical spine. Are my arms forward or are my arms back? Well, what feels comfortable to you? What happens if you start to turn? Can you pull through the forearm extensors? Getting a stretch through the muscles that extend the wrist and extend the fingers. Move and breathe. If you want more through the legs and hips, you can always widen the stance. Okay, I've got my legs wide. I can go a little bit wider just to access through the hamstrings, through the adductors. I can look up towards the strap. Going to pull over to the right, lengthening. Left side of the body, lengthening latissimus dorsi, pulling up through the side body and to the opposite side. Notice if you can go more deeply on one side or the other. You've got a good grip. I'm starting to get some almost numbness in those hands from holding that grip. We're going to release it in just a second. And back to center. Big in breath. Arms wide. Shoulders out. Mobilize the elbows, the wrists in a way that feels good to you. Exhale, head down. Reach the arms and shoulders gently back as your head leans down and forward. Lengthening, creating space in the posterior spine. And I'm going to put this guy down for a minute just to shake my hands out. They got kind of warm at that last minute. When I brought my hands down, it felt like blood kind of flushed through there because I had them up over my head, up above my heart. You get to check and see where we're at on our camera, how much time actually passed. We're going to go ahead and go onto our backs, and we're going to use the strap down into our feet and legs. Just follow along at home. If you don't have a belt, by the way, you can use a towel, but I really like the belt. I feel like it gives me a slightly better grip. I'm going to grab right around the ball pad of the right foot. I'm going to pull that guy gently back towards my face. If I want to wrap the hands again, I can, if that gives me a better grip. Deep hamstring stretch. Stretch into soleus and the gastrocnemius, into the plantar surface of the foot. I'm going to lengthen that left leg out. You can pull more to the midline or more lateral. Doesn't matter. When you go lateral, you're going to hit the adductors more. When I go to the inside, when I go across the midline, I start to get this dull ache along my IT band. outside of my knee. I think that feels more beneficial to me, and to save my hands, I'm going to use just one. I'm going to wrap this guy just on the right hand and pull it over. There we go. I'm going to bend my arm and pull that leg up. So we're going to pull more into the hamstring here. Then I'm going to go lateral. And I can rest wherever I want. I feel that in my hamstrings, a little bit more on the inside of the thigh. I'm able to open that area. I can always transition out. I can switch hands as I roll over the midline. It'll be easier to pull with this opposite side. I'm going to give my lower body a twist and reach over. A lot of my lazy yoga looks like this. I spend lots of time just working on mobility and range of motion. Simple strengthening in gravity. I'm going to take this leg off and switch out to the left. Right around the ball pad of the foot. I'm going to pull that guy back. I start with this right leg bent because it takes a little pressure off through the hips. It's not isolating as much. It allows me to gently explore range of motion through that hamstring. I feel this kind of broad pull, and it goes right behind my knee. But it's not sharp and it's not painful. If you feel a dull ache, I think that's completely fine. If you feel a sharp pain, I want you to back off. I'm going to roll the leg out wide. I can counterbalance by putting this leg out. You can pull that leg up, lengthening through the hamstrings. If I let it fall more, I pull more into the adductors. Muscles cause movement, and we're using movement to lengthen and access those muscles. I'm going to pull this up and over, back towards my face again. I'm going to lengthen out the right leg. Deep hamstring stretch, deep stretch into my calves. I can switch hands if I choose to. I'm going to come across to the opposite side. I'm going to use this left arm to counterbalance. And this started to become almost too intense with the leg straight, so I started to bend it. Now I can straighten it as much as I want. It all depends on your hips, your knees, the muscles across those joints, and how it feels. Intense, like it's got our attention. We could meditate. We could have primary mental focus on that area, is fine. But you don't want to harm yourself doing contortion. Much better stretch. Focused into my gluteals. My IT band, vastus lateralis, all of that seemed to have lengthened and let go. But a good stretch down into the gluteals. When I come back up and over, I'm going to pull this foot again back up towards the face. Deep stretch down into the hamstrings. Shake the head and neck out. No tension. When we wind up creating focus in one part of the body because we're strengthening, we're lengthening, we're mobilizing, you want to try to keep your focus there and then allow your body to let everything else go. As we do that, it means that we're systematically kind of running our attention through different parts of our body.